Hello, my name is Zhang Duoxin. He is currently studying jewelry design at the School of Decorative Arts at Sipacon University. Today, I am presenting my research project between Lifetime, This Rule, Trans-Lifetime, Human-Animal, both true contemporary art during. This research mainly explores the emotional relationship between humans and animals, how to transform contemporary art jewelry through materials, physical experiences, and emotional narratives. In many cultural, philosophical, and spiritual traditions, humans have been wondering whether emotional relationships can transcend life, death, and time. From Eastern Buddhism and Taoism to existential discussions in Western philosophy. The question of whether the relationship can be sustained has been recurring. At the same time, the relationship between humans and pets in modern society has also undergone tremendous changes. Nowadays, many people don't just treat pets as animals. They are seen as companions, family members, and important emotional objects. But while these topics are gaining increasing attention, contemporary art jewelry rarely expresses this emotional relationship through wearable, physical, and material means. Many studies have shown that there's a deep emotional connection between humans and animals, even through separation or death. Memories, attachments, and emotional relationships can still persist. Therefore, my research is exploring whether gestures can be a medium for expressing this emotional continuity. This research is based on my relationship with my kitten in the process of living together for a long time. I felt a very strong sense of familiarity and emotional connection. This started to make me think about attachment, memory loss, and the persistence of relationships. Later, during some cross-cultural experiences in China and Thailand, I was exposed to a different understanding of emotional persistence and relationship existence. But this study is not intended to prove spiritual reincarnation or spiritual theories. All of this led me to a design research question. How can we express the continuous emotion between humans and animals through contemporary art jewelry? Although the emotional relationship between humans and animals has increasingly emerged in psychology, sociology, and the study of human-animal relationships. But few of these emotional experiences are actually translated into wearable art and physical design. In the field of contemporary art jewelry, emotional continuity, relational memory, and physical attachment are also rarely studied through materials and wearing experiences. So this research is exploring whether contemporary art jewelry can be a relational medium to support emotional existence, attachment, and lasting relationships. My research question is, how contemporary art jewelry expresses the emotional relationship between humans and animals through materials, forms, and wearing experiences. The core idea of this study is that even if the body has been separated, emotional relationships can still persist through memories, attachments, and life experiences. Therefore, in this project, jewelry is not just about decoration. It is an emotional medium as well as a relational medium. Interact with wearing through physical contact. Abstract emotional experiences can be truly felt. This research is mainly based on three theories. The first is phenomenal aesthetics, especially the concept of coexistence. The second theory is aesthetic empathy. The third theory is the aesthetics of experience. These theories support the use of gestures as an emotional and relational medium. Phenomenology holds that human existence is not inherently solitary. They exist through relationships and interactions. Relationships are not just mental states. It is also experienced through physical touch, memory, and interaction. So in this study, jewelry has become a relationship medium for wearing to experience emotions. Aesthetic empathy theory holds that the audience will establish a connection with the work through emotional projection and emotional resonance. Even if the audience doesn't believe in spiritual theories, they can still empathize emotionally with attachment, companionship, memory, and loss. By touching materials and wearing experiences, jewelry can connect different people emotionally. Experience aesthetics holds that art is not just static objects. It's an evolving relationship of experience. Jewelry constantly changes as it is worn, touched, moved, and over time. Therefore, emotional meaning is gradually formed in daily life. Jewelry is therefore no longer a visual object. It is an emotional being that is actually experienced. This study uses the practical arts research methodology. It combines artistic research, material experimentation, reflective analysis, and audience feedback. It's not about separating theory from creation. It's about putting these theories directly into practice through materials, form, and experience. During the creative process, I did sketch design, model experiments, material testing, and process documentation. To explore how to combine emotions, relationships are transformed into jewels. The entire series can be divided into 4 emotional stages: encounter, acquaintance, kinship, and separation. Together, they form a narrative structure of emotional change and constant connection, and the body itself becomes part of the narrative. The first work represents an encounter. This work discusses the original emotional connection between humans and animals. The abstract image and the two in the universe are like two orbits in the universe slowly approaching each other. The brooch is worn close to the heart. It symbolizes emotional proximity and the beginning of a relationship. The second work represents cognition and coexistence. This work is a pendant in the shape of a bell. Humans and animals can do it. Wear this item, bells are no longer functional accessories. It becomes a relational object that can be shared. By enabling both humans and animals to wear it, this work begins to discuss the relationship between our perceptions, emotional interactions, and coexistence. The third work, it represents intimacy, emotional connection. This work is a ring. It contains human and animal hair. These materials are inserted into the paper interior. The work transforms emotional attachment into a wearable material existence. Rings symbolize continuity, commitment, and long-term emotional connection. The fourth work discusses separation, absent memory, and emotional continuity. This work is composed of 2 independent wearable forms. One of them represents humanity. The other represents animals. Although it has been physically separated, but there are still some traces of each other's materials inside each other. The project doesn't see separation as the end. Rather, it is understood as a transformation of the relationship. A very important part of this research is the physical experience. Unlike sculpture and painting, jewelry directly touches the body. By touching and moving weight, temperature, and long-term work, jewelry will gradually become a part of daily emotional life. So the body is not just a display. The work is used, but it participates in the formation of emotional meaning during wearing. Studies in the field of contemporary art jewelry include several contributions. The first is that it expands the functions of contemporary jewelry, no longer understand jewelry as decoration or visual object. Rather, it proposes that jewelry can also be an emotional medium and a relationship medium. Secondly, this research combines emotional design, wearable storytelling, physical experience, and relational interaction. And finally, the project is also exploring how to transform attachment, memory, companionship, and lasting emotional relationships into wearable art forms. Finally, This research is mainly exploring how contemporary art jewelry can be experienced through wearing to express the ongoing emotional relationship between humans and animals through materials, physical interactions, and emotional narratives. Jewelry is no longer just decoration. It is a medium that can carry memory, attachment, emotional presence, and relationship continuity. Ultimately, this study proposes that contemporary art jewelry can serve as a relational interface that connects physical memories, emotions, and everyday experiences. Thank you very much for listening. I am very grateful to all the professors for their time and attention. Then I look forward to receiving everyone's suggestions and feedback. My report is over.